Hello and welcome back to Little Alchemist Helper. Got another low-key video for you. I think we're on... Oh no, I don't even know now. I think it's number 5, but the title will have the right number. I should have looked that up before I got started, but it's alright. I'm just kind of winging it. So, on the agenda for today, I'm going to make sure I have a good deck selected with a good alchemy power. We're just going to hang out in the arena for a while and just kind of chat. I've noticed that ever since the last video I uploaded about leaving a potentially easier deck up, that's got the conversation going on the Discord channel. You guys sure like to talk about that and whether or not it's actually a good idea. Just so you know, here's a little secret. If you're gonna face me and you see that I have a red alchemy power, that means it's the easy deck that I have up. If it's blue or green, that means it's either my heroics deck or it's my actual arena deck, which is significantly harder than that other one that I like to put up there every once in a while. But I'm trying to leave it up there for you guys because, well, quite frankly, I enjoy seeing new faces in the top 20, and I think since the restart of the arena here like a week and a half ago ish, 2.5 weeks ago, recently, definitely some new people have been in there, and that's really awesome. It's great to see a ton of the familiar faces on Discord in the top 20, and then in the top 12 I think is the pool that gets selected from when you're all the way up. I think it's the top 12 that I get to pick from. So that's a nice change. Like, here's an excellent example. I don't know what you were ranked before, but now you're a choice for me. And so that's always nice to see. So I'll try and leave that easier deck up as often as I can. And as always, we'll finish this off with the water dragon if we can. I mean, the defense in that card. It helps out so much. The other big news for the Discord, if you guys aren't on there, we finally got emotes, and well, not finally got emotes. We got custom emotes, and so we've got the ones that I see most are the critical strike emote, the master elementalist emote, the onyx combo card emote. But it's great to have something that pulls the game a little bit more in, versus just type in OCC and then instantly get asking, what's that stand for? You know, not that there's anything wrong with new people and not being all spun up on the vernacular, but it's nice to have the pictographic representation. And I was wondering if there's any card pictures that really deserve their own emote slot, because I'm pretty sure the guys that were working on it said we had like 100 slots and we only used like 20 of them or so. I'll go for a challenge. I don't know. So I feel like we've got plenty of room. Obviously we couldn't make every card in the game an emote because there's like 2,000 of those, but I think we could pick some of the more interesting ones and turn those into emotes as well. But I'd love to hear from you guys as to what they should be, and then I can probably work with the other admins to actually get them implemented. But I think that would be fun. But yeah, just leave a comment down below and we'll go from there. It's coming down to the wire on this one. This is a gamble. not dead, but I mean, it's either a tie. Okay, so I play this. Pretty much guarantees a tie because that's realistically only 29 defense. The 7 HP I have plus the 22 there. Play this. If he plays a critical strike card, it's a tie. He won't. He'll do plenty of damage. I don't know. We'll try this. Yeah, it didn't matter. That's sniper card. I need to get me a set. But that's okay. It's not fun if I just win all the time. At least that's what you guys were telling Tab Dog during his live streams. This is not fun if you just win all the time. Well, now that was a nice draw. Did you guys see that? It's like a whole just mess of Onyx cards. But we'll see if we can turn the corner here and actually get a fused final form, because a whole mess of Onyx cards doesn't actually do me a lot of good unless I can use the orbs that I accrue. Oh, I got lucky there. Double water dragon. 2 water dragons for the win. Oh. But in other news, I've been doing quite a bit of research, and I think one way that I can promote Little Alchemist to a new audience is to do kind of a mini series on a different game, but keep it on the Little Alchemist channel. The key to that being is that the other game would have to have a player base that would also be interested in playing Little Alchemist. So I've been doing quite a bit of research on some of these other games that I could host informative videos about, much more than like a supersonic video where it's just kind of a quick one and done. Here's the very basic from, launching. Actually go a little more deep dive into some of the strategy, see if I could pull some of the background data like I can for Little Alchemy for that one, and really try and create some information heavy videos for other games that aren't being covered but have a larger player base than Little Alchemist, and try and indirectly show them Little Alchemist and see if we can't pull, find not a new audience for the channel so much as a new audience for the game. But I've looked into 2 or 3 games, and they all kind of seem to have their own drawbacks that makes me leery to go into it. I mean, the first and most obvious choice would be Chinzilla's second, well, technically third title, and that's Animation Throwdown. But the game has some really crass references to it, and it's not nearly as family friendly as a game of Little Alchemist. And I'm willing to play it. I wouldn't let my kids play it, but I'm willing to play it. But I mean, for reference, my oldest kid is 6. It's a little young for a game like that. I'd let my teenager play it. It's a card game. It's nothing that crazy. But it touches on some tones that I wouldn't necessarily. I'm not a huge fan of. But I mean, what do you expect? It's a game based on Family Guy, amongst other things. So of course that's going to be there. So I don't know. I've been researching that quite a bit. I've been thinking about Hearthstone. That game's I don't know. That game's got a pretty dedicated following. It's very commercial, though. Very, very commercial. And I'm not sure that the commercial player base would translate well to an indie game like Little Alchemist. I mean, and there's 1.5 million card games out there. South Park has a card game, but I don't like it for the same reason that I don't like Animation Throwdown. I don't know. I'm leaning towards Animation Throwdown, but that's another thing. Let me know that on the Discord or in a comment below if there's like another game that audience would also appreciate the unique kind of qualities that Little Alchemist has, because if you guys do the supersonic offers, I mean, you'll see there's a lot of games that are just direct clones of each other, and I'm thrilled that that's never really happened for this game. I mean, Animation Throwdown's quite a bit different than this. It does use some of the same base mechanics, but it's still quite a bit different. So it's still very much its own thing. Versus some of those games on the Supersonic, it's just like this is the exact same game with different like texture palettes and changed character names. Like this, it's the same thing over and over and over again, and you can see that as you just play them. Like, this is so familiar. I know exactly what to do because I've already played this game before. It just had a different name, and that's something I really appreciate about Little Alchemist. And I know if it had a wider exposure, a lot of other people would find and come and see and appreciate about the game as well. But I want to be very careful if I'm going to venture into another game. That's my main point here in this long extended ramble, is that I want to choose carefully, and I would love your guys' input, especially if you know a game and you play a game heavily that I haven't brought up before. Did I win? Oh, that was close. That was close. I don't know. Another thing that I want to get into, and I'd love your feedback on, is speedrunning the heroics. And I don't think anybody's ever speedrun Little Alchemist before, mainly because you can't. You can't do a generic how quickly can I beat the last boss, which is normally what speedruns are. Just because of the energy restrictions, you can't. It's not a game that you can start over from the very beginning easily and just play all the way through in one sitting, despite how good or knowledgeable you are about the game. There's definite waiting built into this game, and so it makes it kind of unspeedrunnable. But with the heroics, that's a different story. So my initial thought was, I wonder if we could set an arbitrary limit in the heroics run and then see who could, beat their way to that point the fastest. So beat their way through the 5th boss, beat their way through the whole first set of 10. That seems like a really good, clean breaking point to me, but I don't know if it's too far, so it wouldn't be very inclusive. That's the thing. I want to do this in a way that's open to a lot of people, so it can kind of be like a little fun competition, especially with iOS and Android having screen recording capabilities like they do now. I really think that could be a fun way to bring the community together. But I want to make a standard before I go try and really establish it. But I don't want to set it so far off that it's completely unattainable, to someone, who wants to get into it. Obviously, if you're just starting your brand new account, you're not going to be able to speed run past the first 2 or 3 bosses in heroics, and you should really wait to even unlock heroics for a while. But I still want it to be, I think the farther out we set the goal, the more chance for skill being involved, both in deck building for a speedrun and the skill involved in making those quick, snappy decisions, and more skill in balancing the final forms to the combo cards, and really do, I think it would provide a lot of insight and knowledge as to what exactly makes a really successful heroics deck, both on the short term and on the grand scale. So that's what the thing number 3 that I'm asking you to tell me about. What boss, I can comfortably beat all the way to 20, like hands down every single time. But I think that's too far. And I think 10 might also be too far, but it's one of those weird things where I'm not sure if it's too far or not far enough. And it's just, it's the main reason that I haven't, that's one of the things that when I wrote out a whole bunch of ideas before starting this channel, that's still on that list. I've never tackled it. There's still a few things from that original list that I haven't tackled yet. But the main concern there is setting the gate at the right point so it's inclusive for you guys. Because I'd love to see you guys uploading your own speedrunning videos. If I go out and I just create one and call it the world record, I'd love to see that beat, and then I could go back and try and figure out how to do mine better, and it's competition, and competition's great. And I'm out of ruins, which means I'm probably about out of recording space, but I think I've left you with plenty to talk about. Let me put up my my freebie deck and I'll let you guys go. Thanks for watching. Bye.